Now, I've said it many times before. Governments of the day, it doesn't matter, no matter where you are, they have to, and they want to control the narrative. They want to control what everybody says, what they do, what they think, and how they go about their lives. And you've got certain things online, certain platforms, X being one of them, of course, whereby people get the chance to say what they think, people get the chance to express themselves freely, share the information that they know straight from the ground, and we get the truth based on real lived experience rather than the bullshit narrative that we're spoon fed by the mainstream media every day. No good for authoritarian figures, is it? So what they want to do, of course, is clamp down on it. I want to bring you this piece here and we'll react to it together. And you can see it's the World Governments Summit. That sends chills down your spine before you think of anything else.
Starting next week, my government will implement the following actions. First, we will change the law in Spain to hold platform executives legally accountable for many infringements taking place on their sites. This means that CEOs of these techno platforms will face criminal liability for failing to remove illegal or hateful content. And for that, we governments need to stop turning a blind eye to the toxic content shared under their watch.
Right, there you go, straight away. So Spain, a member of the EU, is basically turning around and making it difficult for the delivery of free speech. When they say hateful content, or where they say toxic content or any connotation thereof, what they're actually saying is content we don't agree with, which goes against our narrative we're trying to spin. So what we're going to do, we're going to hold the chief executive of that company personally accountable. And you'll end up with fines, criminals, and everything else. Elon Musk will just do that. At least I hope he does anyway. And Trump will stamp down with major tariffs. Free speech is very important. The English Bill of Rights, we have the right to it. The American Constitution, they take that right very, very, very seriously. And I've said it before as well, Europe is governed mainly by administrative Roman law. It's a communist kind of construct, basically. And what you're seeing playing out here is that kind of control where they're trying to pull in the reins of what you and I call free speech. It really is very serious.
Second, we will turn algorithmic manipulation and amplification of illegal content into a new criminal offense. Disinformation doesn't appear by itself. It is created, promoted, and spread by certain actors. We will go after them as well as after the platforms whose algorithms amplify the disinformation for profit. No more hiding behind code. No more pretending that technology is neutral. Third, we will implement a hate and polarization footprint, a system to track, quantify, and expose how digital platforms fuel division and amplified hate. For too long, hate has been treated as invisible and untraceable, but we will change that, develop.
Definition of hate. Define hate. What do you mean by hate? You know, my definition of hate is different to other people's definitions. You know, I could put something online which I would consider common sense, and it would be defined as hate to certain other people because it goes against their belief, their narrative, their ideal. Very dangerous. This is control of free speech at such a level. And they're talking about going after people. This is Spain, by the way, a member of the EU. They do not want you to have the right to self-expression. They do not want you to have the right to free speech. Every time I put something online, I'm very measured about how I deliver and what I deliver, because you always have that in the back of your mind that you get a knock on the door. Other people don't give a shit. They just go for it. But in the main, anything, and I mean anything, can be controlled in this way. And certainly across the European continent, this will just spread like wildfire. And there is another example, which I'll bring you after this video. So hang on for that. Let's play the rest of this.
A tool that will provide the basis for undertaking future penalties, because spreading hate must come at a cost. A legal cost, of course, a financial cost, and a moral cost that platforms can no longer afford to ignore. Fourth, Spain will ban access to social media for minors under the age of 16.
Right. Australia have done it. Britain are talking about it. It's gone a lot more further forward than talking about it, obviously. And now Spain are talking about it. So if you say under the age of 16, you've still got developing minds, right? Still got developing minds. If you start at that point in time, you breed a whole generation which are used to this. You know, people like me will get old and we'll be brown bread sooner or later, and you can mold and control that next generation. So they're starting before us, and it's our responsibility really to ensure that the next generation, the younger generation, know different, know what's really going on. I mean, one of the things that I saw was a piece by a political party where they said they were going to try and help influence the younger generation. And it alarmed me, because what they were trying to influence them with was wrong. And I put this tweet out. I want to share this with you. I put, they didn't educate you to think. They educate you to agree. If you're young, don't swallow the approved narrative. Question everything, especially when the establishment tells you what you're allowed to feel. Remember, our young people are the future of our country, and that future depends on independent minds. So question and think about everything, not obedient ones. Don't embrace the UK just because politicians say so. Embrace who you are: English, Scottish, Welsh, Irish, your real history, your real culture, your real identity. Critical thinking is rebellion. Start now. And that's what they're trying to do with what they're up to, targeting younger people to pull them through in, you know, something else. Anyway, let's finish that video and then we'll move on.
Platforms will be required to implement effective age verification systems, not just checkboxes, but real barriers that work. Today, our children are exposed to a space they were never meant to navigate alone. A space of addiction, abuse, pornography, manipulation, violence. We will no longer accept that. We will protect them from the digital Wild West. Fifth and last, my government will work with our public prosecutor to investigate and pursue the infringement committed by Grok, TikTok, and Instagram. We will have zero tolerance on this matter, and we will defend our digital sovereignty against of foreign coercion.
Right. X, Grok, that's the main thing. They're just chucking TikTok and Instagram in, I think, for, you know, just for drama's sake. But remember, Spain is a member of the EU. And if we go to Grok or X, we find this, which has happened over the last couple of days. So breaking, this was dated yesterday at time of recording. Elon Musk's offices raided in Paris. Macron knows Elon is a danger to them. Elon bought X so we could be free to say the truth. And the truth is the enemy of the EU and the Macron regime. They want to take this platform down. They must be stopped. Paris prosecutors raid France offices of Elon Musk X. So again, France, an EU member state, and Musk's offices get raided. Spain, an EU member state. You've just heard that speech there. They want complete control. And going back to England for a second, you look at the EU. The EU's overriding goal is to become its own country, all in its own right, and swallowing up all of those member states. With the United Kingdom, which in itself is a statutory political union, you've got the common law jurisdiction, which protects all of us. Now, England has been regionalised. If you allow that to continue, that common law jurisdiction will be destroyed. We will then get sucked into the EU, and everything you're seeing will affect us a damn sight more than it is right now. And believe you me, that is exactly what they'll want to do here also. Think about it. Think about the videos. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share my stuff, and as always, I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo.